You ready for cheese dip, Ricky?
I'm ready for a whole lot of cheese dip.
Why don't you do the intro now while the bottles are up front, and then I'll move them out of the way.
Wow. Now I've got pressure. I don't like it. I don't work on it. I'm going back to my trailer.
Why? You crumpled immediately.
So we're doing a weeded bourbon taste-off. We got, looks like we got some Old Maker's Mark 46 at 91 proof, I believe. Some some Weller Antique 107, which is, I think, 90 proof. And then we have the 1792 weeded, which is, I believe, 94-ish proof.
All weeded, similar proofs. This is the sweet wheat. Yeah, this is Weller Green Label, which I'm just going to point out that I got pretty cheap. Where I live, they sell it for almost nothing. But apparently, if you buy it in Kentucky, it's incredibly expensive, 60 or 70 or something like that.
Wow.
I've heard tale. I don't know how true that is. And then Maker's Mark 46. So, yeah, I'm going to move these out of the way so we can start.
I've had 46, but none of the others.
But he has researched them extensively, so he can cheat and tell us what they're supposed to taste like.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, dude. Okay.
I guess it makes sense to go from
Now what do we do?
left to right.
Now this is the hard part.
We didn't think this far ahead. Go pause the video.
We'll restage it. I should just pause it, and then we're all in different seats suddenly.
So I was supposed to arrange these in different order, right? Just kidding.
Yeah, Ricky's a real character, Cody. Okay, start on the left. Ooh. It's really sweet. A little buttery.
You definitely get like the grain, wheat, and it's like a kind of almost like a cherry cough drop or something with like a hint of like pepper at the end. Because it's like a little bit like it's not straight like cherry or fruit, but it's kind of like a more concentrated, syrupy kind of.
It's not really that peppery to me, but I don't think you're off with cherry though. Sweet, it's definitely sweet. I mean, but of course, it's the first fragrance of the night, so I'm sure later I'll come back and be like, oh, this one's like bitter compared to the other two, but
Yeah.
I actually smell a little bit of like cola. I think a little bit.
I got
Could be
the
like a corn
butter
syrup maybe, but
and the cherry. Agree with you guys on that one.
all right, we
The
want
wheat.
to do some tastes here.
Yeah. Bombs up.
Thumbs up.
You
Well, I mean, do you just tilt them just a couple percent because we're not shooting it? That is not what I expected at all. I mean, it's still kind of sweet, but it's sort of a hot cinnamon sweet. But
Yeah. Yeah, that was spicy.
now, so wheated bourbons, they're just higher in wheat. They're not like predominantly wheat, but they replace like they'll take out all the rye, or they'll reduce the amount of like extra corn syrup to give like a higher percentage of wheat. And I think it's like usually between 10 and 20%. 20% probably on the high end. So it's not like the whole grist is wheat or anything, but my first impression is that this is different than the usual fare we drink.
Seems, at least to me, it seems like the sweetness doesn't last super long.
The sweetness doesn't?
Yeah, and ends pretty quickly and gets to the weedy spiciness.
It is spicier than I thought it would be, which I would attribute to rye, I would think, more than wheat, but I can't say. A little oily.
That kind of lingers.
It starts smooth, and it just doesn't end smooth at all. Yeah, I'm with you that it does kind of linger. And there's a lot of the kind of vapor effect It's almost like numbing my tongue already. It's the first sip.
That reminds me, need palate cleansers or water or something.
Yeah, I'll just do a white pure.
I don't know, it's like I'm having a hard time pinning anything down from this. Like, I get like a little bit of rye spice, an initial little hit of sweetness, kind of like a hay taste, a little bit. Give me filtered water, please, sir. Cold filtered water. I don't know. What am I drinking? It's like you put, like...
And we're back.
Like you put a little bit of rye spice and some hay and a peppercorn into a glass of water. Like and like a little bit of sweetness, but it doesn't really taste like caramel. Doesn't really taste like vanilla.
Yeah, I don't think it tastes like caramel or vanilla either. It's for me it's peppercorn and like it's not. It doesn't really taste like hot cinnamon, but that's like the effect of it being like sweet and then a flash of sweet and then a hotness. It sort of burns a little bit, numbs your tongue. It's not like it's high proof or anything. It's just like it's kind of uneven and it shifts, and then that vapor takes over, and it doesn't make me think of the fruit. It doesn't make me think cherry or anything like that we had talked about in the aroma.
Just a little flat for me. Don't get a whole lot of what the hell I'm tasting. Even it's just kind of like
on that sip,
like,
I just got a little bit of like leather, but
like grain and spice, and that's kind of it. I don't know. I don't really get any fruit off the palate.
All right.
God, I gotta save it. All right. Why don't we smell us some of B? Which was a much more healthy pour on this one. It's like 3 times the amount. Ooh.
It's different.
Yeah.
Like a lot of rice spice, sort of like kind of a.
I was gonna say I smell more wheat on this one. And it's a little leafier. It's like
Yeah, I don't detect any sweetness or fruitiness or
there's something kind of perfumey about it. Like
It's like spearmint and like tea or something.
I could see tea. That might be a word I'm looking for here in this one. That's something herbal, something leafy.
Something like the cooling realm.
Maybe a little oak. Because I'm thinking of like tree bark. So it might be a bit of an oakiness that's just seeping in there. I think this smells. It doesn't mean it's going to taste that way, but to me this smells like a more well-rounded pour.
I detect hints of like peanut butter. I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, I don't really smell it myself. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, spearmint kind of makes sense to me now that you mention it.
There's something I need to go back and try my mints, just like wintergreen or spearmint or like regular mint.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
All right, as Rick says, bottoms up. Bourbon bottoms up.
That's kind of a harsh swallow.
It's sneaky. It's
almost like
Exactly.
watery at first.
Pretty much exactly the nose on this one is the palate that I'm getting. Get
yeah.
kind of like rye, some kind of mint, a little bit in there. And
A little bit of peanut butter.
Mint / peanut butter. They get confused often.
it's only a hint of mint. I might be maybe more on the nose for me, but
Oh, there's the mint. Holy
Got some there?
yeah. Excuse my language. It's almost like, I don't know, at least to me, it's like when I first put it in, it's like, I don't get any flavor. It's like water. And then it just hits you.
It's subtle. It starts subtle. It does come in eventually, but it's... I don't know if that's a trait to expect from wheated bourbon.
Definitely not. Not a lot of complexity on that one. I basically just get those like 2 flavors, which probably not quite. They're not like hitting my senses in a way that makes me like immediately know what I'm going for. But whatever, like mint, rye, something, whatever, those 2, like that's pretty much all I'm getting. Doesn't really evolve into something on the finish or anything. It's just kind of all the same all the way through. This one kind of reminds me of the AD laws a little bit.
There was I'm getting just a a pinch, a dash, whatever kitchen term you want to use for infinitesimal amount of oak, and add to that kind of I'm going to call it weedy beginning, which is like to say it's sort of a bland grist. It's like a grist flavor, like a corn syrup type thing, but it's not as sweet as that. But I'm mostly with the 2 of them, in that it's very subtle. It's almost boring, and then there's a little bit of a kick at the end where the spice comes in. The alcohol kind of plumes in your throat, and then it's like there's not really much to it. Yeah.
Kind of like Rick.
That's... I don't know what that means.
Okay. Wow, I guess I'm going to be bleeping this whole part of the conversation.
We're not making a children's channel, Adrian. We're drinking bourbons. This is man time.
There are... all I need is for one person to play this in court, Cody. And then... It's like, did you say this on your YouTube channel?
No, I didn't. That guy over there did.
You condoned it? You didn't bleep it? You put it on the channel? You edited it. Did you edit it? Okay.
This is, I don't know if you've ever heard of something called the First Amendment, Your Honor, but...
The Constitution? Hello?
Constitutional Amendment?
Did you study that in law school, Judge? Your Honor?
Bailiff beat this man senseless. All right.
The jury rests.
You hate the part. Number 3, Ricky.
There we go.
Buttery,
Little,
like cinnamon roll, cinnamon, like the icing, not frosting, but icing, that like liquidy icing, like the way you get when you get you get pizza and you get like cinnamon sticks or something. They give you that little peel off thing with
the cinnamon icing part you're talking about.
No, well, I mean it is cinnamon, but like say you get like cinnamon sticks at a... Get your fat hell away, Ricky.
I don't have to look at you to hear you, Cody. Also, I don't think it's cinnamon. To me, it's brown sugar.
Well, it's no shame of being wrong.
I was thinking maybe molasses.
It's like when you go, you get like the cinnamon sticks or whatever, like a pizza, like a fast food pizza, and it's just like the same as the breadsticks. It's all just like one thing, but you gotta like tear it apart, and they give you like the little plastic tub of like the shitty icing.
Yeah.
Like that. Not to say that this is bad, but like it's that kind of icing with like a kind of like the
you don't smell smell brown sugar here? That's very clear to me on this one.
It's like brown sugar, cinnamon icing to me. Very sweet smelling. Yeah, butter, brown sugar,
so
cinnamon
you
icing.
mix butter and brown sugar, and it is sort of a cakey or some sort of pastry effect. Of course, the middle one I had a similar aroma, at least on the first pass, and it ended up being pretty disappointing on the drink. So hopefully this third one is not like that.
I had mint and rye. This one had sugar, brown sugar, cinnamon, icing.
Well, I meant that it was like what I'm noticing here is that these all smell sweet, and then you drink them, and there's some sweetness, but that's not really what defines them. And what so far I'd say we've struck out on 2. Hopefully the third one is a little better.
Okay, we're drinking now, I guess.
Yeah. Go, everybody, drink. Cody says.
Not quite as sweet. as it is on the nose, but basically the same flavors on the nose, on the palate for me.
Oh, yeah.
Much. Kind of like brown sugar, cinnamon, butter icing, kind of vanilla.
It wasn't harsh at all. It was pretty easy. This would be an easy drink.
It's not as rich as the aroma. Like it's not. It's sweet. At the brown sugar, cinnamon, sure. I think the butter's a little less there than it smells. So it doesn't. To me, it's not as cakey as it smells, but it's still sweet. And yeah, brown sugar is the main thing I taste.
Let's go through them again, but I feel like I know which one I like the best so far. For me.
Yeah, I think I do too. But
yeah,
we'll have
to order already, but I'm sure it'll be different.
At first blush, I would say in general, this category of bourbon is less complex and interesting
less
as
exciting.
The other ones. Yeah, I mean, these are not high end, of course, but like I would say,
Kentucky,
right? I mean, just off the first pass, it seems like okay. The weeded bourbons are maybe more of an entry level bourbon. They're not complex and layered and deep. That might be somebody's thing, but I think for us, we'd probably, if we had to pick something to drink, these are not probably going to be high up there. But okay, do we want to go back 3, 2, 1?
Sounds good to me.
Let's do it, Rick.
Guess I don't get to.
Well, you've done everything so far. You've made all the decisions so far. We're going to make one decision, and that's let's go back.
That's it. I'm putting my hipster glasses on.
Those are all clear. Every single.
Hey, if the lens breaks, it's okay. You can just move the frame in front of your eye, and then you'll still be able to see.
Yeah, and they're cheap. And then
whoa!
Freaking $500, $600.
Does that smell totally different to you now? After I just cleanse my palate, now I smell like freaking juniper or something like.
Kind of smells the same to me.
Okay.
Buttercream Ricky.
Yeah, Cody. Ooh, whose foot is that? That must be Cody's.
Ooh, you sure it's a foot?
Pretty sure that's a foot.
Yeah.
There's something like, I don't know, there's a little something like I don't know, not aroma. I'm smelling like a cilantro leaf or something, like something that's like far afield from what I detected the first time through on any of these, but
yeah,
I got a little, just a little bit of caramel on that second drink in 3, but
pretty much just
brown sugar,
same
cinnamon, that frosting, let's call it. Don't look it up. What are you doing?
Well, I don't know which ones they are. I'm just trying to remember which, like, where it originated.
Okay. Damn, you guys are done with... You drank all of your 3 already?
No.
Okay.
Hey.
Facts aren't facts.
1 to 2.
2.
Ugh. I still like
walking through the woods or something.
Yeah, it's very herbal. Like that mint again. Like that AD laws like that. There's something about it that I get with the it's not the same scent because whatever. It's got that kind of, I don't know how to describe it. Like what you smell when you smell like horseradish or like I kind of like that's the minty kind of smell that I get. It's like I know that horseradish isn't minty and it's like spicy, but you get that kind of like
I would say it's less, to me it's less minty than the first time, but there is still an herbal thing going on, and I still smell just like a fleeting second of leather in there. It's like right at the tail end somewhere I smell just real quick, but it's not a dominant.
It's like somebody brush their teeth and then rinse their mouth out into a cup and then they put rye spice in it. I don't know. Sort of minty, but not like in a traditional straightforward mint kind of, like in a rye minty kind of realm. And that's like all it tastes like either. There's just that like minty-ish sort of whatever
it's like
that I get, and then like
menthol.
Yeah, menthol's a good.
Eucalyptus.
Menthol's a good note,
that's
actually.
What I'm saying. I don't know. Like I said, all those things are like in the same like realm, and I don't know how to differentiate them. You know, like wintergreen, spearmint, menthol, eucalyptus. Which one's which? I don't remember, but it's one of those things. I'm kidding. It's like a I don't know. Maybe menthol's probably close, but it's like a minty, but like a.
I've tasted menthol in beer before, and that's an astute observation, Rick. I would say menthol. Menthol to me is a better word for it than mint. Like those, I mean, it's like that same family, obviously, but
you know, it's like you got it from like a cactus or something. It's like it's like some kind of a planty,
it's prickly, and it's like it's more.
It's like a
vegetable, chlorophyll in it or something. It's more bound up in fiber.
Aloe vera.
Yeah, like a vegetal, like alcohol-y, antiseptic-y.
Yeah.
Sort of. I don't know, with sweetness added that makes it funky to me.
Okay, back to one. Mouth washing it there a bit, Rick?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Wow. Guess we know what Cody feels.
Well, I just go back to one that I didn't really care for that much the first time, but it smells fruity this time.
I smell a little bit more frosting on this one actually now that I've smelled it on 3.
Yeah. A
little bit of I want to say a little bit of peppermint, but it's like trace amounts. It's not like, it makes me think of like some sort of Christmas confection that might have a little bit of mint in it, you know.
There's still, I do get like a little bit of frosting in this now. I basically take the things that I smelled last time, but mute them down and add frosting. Like I still get cherry and the peppercorn-ish a little, but not as much. It's more frosting this time. A little. It all mixes a little better this time. A little hard to pick out individual. Definitely. So.
Yeah, I'm tasting a lot of frosting this time.
I still get the cherry a little bit. No.
The first time we went through it, Rick, I want to say that you and I thought this had, like, that alcohol kicks in at the end, and like, not now.
Yeah, what the heck?
Now that our tongues are used to it, the alcohol now, so now that's not an issue anymore.
1 and 3 are certainly the most alike of these to me.
Yeah.
That is way different. I would say
like a light cherry.
Yeah, like
streusel.
1 is like 3, but you add a little bit of cherry in it, and then you way mute down the flavors.
Yeah. Yes.
3 is definitely.
I would agree almost exactly with what you just said.
More impactful with the flavors. You definitely like. Oh, okay. It's, icing, brown sugar, cinnamon. You're like, this one's more like a little cherry, there's some frosting.
It's like
some kind of baking spices. I don't know if it's.
It's like you took 3. And then you put a cherry on top of it, and then you left it out in the rain, and it washed a lot of it away. The interesting thing here for me is like, okay, Cody obviously has a lot of grievances against 2, but 1 is just a sort of worse version of 3. So it's like, do I want to have both of those on my shelf, or if I had to pick one other one, would I pick 2? Just something to think about.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I just got smelled like. God, it's weird what happens when you just like kind of aren't thinking about it and you pick it up and smell it again. Like I just smelled some like burnt leaves, like after a fire was like settling in the fall, or maybe hay.
I did get hay on my first taste of it.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
I'm able to pick the things out a little better. It was our first taste, so we probably weren't able to get a lot from it. A little bit of young hay. notes on it. A lot less of the like fruit, cherry, strawberry, icing on that last taste. A little more of the hay. Yeah, it's similar. Almost could be strawberry too, but yeah, it's a little light, a little lacking on impact in the palate. It's not bad. So I know what my order is.
You know what your order is. Do you know what your order is?
Yeah.
I guess I know mine. Why don't we start with Rick?
Okay. I will say 3 or C, however you want to call it, is my number 1. And then 1A and B is my last. And that was my least favorite.
Same.
Exact same. Oh man. I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1.
Monster.
It's a coin toss for me. Like on the other one, like 1 is definitely I like 1 probably taste is more like it's more palatable. Which like okay, so 1 should be your second one, but 2, it's kind of like the wild turkey thing where it's like, okay, I like this other, like wild turkey is like kind of in that first video, it's rougher, but it's different. So I kind of like that it's different than the other 2. Like maybe all the wheats taste kind of like 1 and 3 do. Like they're all extensions of that.
Sometimes it helps to stand out in the crowd.
Right, but I completely get why you would do 3, 1, 2. It's for sure. So why don't we?
Well, Adrian, next time we're having a taco taste off, we're gonna go to Taco Bell, and then we're gonna go to Del Taco, and then we're gonna go to Cody's Crazy Taco House, where he puts large turds in the tacos, and you'd be like, Taco Bell's Del Taco's a little better than Taco Bell, and you should like Taco Bell better, but this one's so much different.
It's absolutely the same thing I'm saying for sure. I don't like 2 to me. No, but your whole reason for not liking 2 is that I don't know what this flavor is. So
I don't like it.
Not knowing it means I don't like it.
No, I just don't like it.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I know exactly what the order was. Okay, so first was B,
which is Weller.
Okay. Second was C.
No, 1792.
Okay. And so A was the last one.
It's the Maker's 46.
Which is one that we liked.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely, I think, tell that one was the 46. It's really distinct from anything I've had. I haven't had a lot of weeded bourbons, but it's just like so much like cinnamon rolls or icing, which the Weller was also kind of like that, but a little bit of fruit as well, but just kind of muted.
And to be fair, on to give Weller credit where credit's due, this is like this is expensive for some, I don't know, some state law reason or something, but like this is really like in the grand scheme of things, this is like a fairly low shelf weeded bourbon. So it's not like going to be something that's like stratospheric levels of quality to some extent.
Did you spend for the 1792?
But I think it would originally have sold for like 40.
Maker's is 40 as well, but Weller's usually, regardless of the variety, is usually really hard to come by. People snatch it up because they know the name, and it's stupid. I would say even with it being like a lot less, like if you like that kind of flavor, I can see why you would like the 46. It's like really sweet, and it'd be pretty approachable to somebody who isn't a huge bourbon fan, and it's its own unique flavor profile. Whereas the Weller, even if you could find it for cheap, like it's low proof. It's kind of doesn't pack a huge punch on the palate. I mean, there's other things that I'd much rather have.
Right.
And that's 46 though. I can see like it's pretty quality, and if that's like the kind of flavor that you enjoy, like I like it. I'd definitely go for other things, but if you like that, flavor profile, then it's probably worth it. It's not, it's not bad at 40.
The Weller, like for me, I don't see the point in Weller. Like that's why I'm giving it the third place. Is it's like I could like if I'm gonna want that flavor, I'll just get Maker's Mark. And like if I want something a little different, which the more I drink this, the more I do think there is some sort of leathery, tobacco-y-ness to it, is the sweet wheat. And this is also older than the other ones. Like it has to be because they stopped making it. I don't know what year it is, but it might be a little bit of bottle conditioning that's adding a little bit of extra, some kind of off note to it.
Confused with that one. It tastes more like a rye to me almost.
It's odd because is in terms of people, like a lot of the articles are like, oh, best wheat bourbons to try. That makes the list every time, and but that was back when it was like new. So maybe now it's either not aged as well or like the competition's made better stuff. I would say in general, though, I agree with Cody. Maker's Mark, if you're going to try any of these wheated ones, at least the lower, the entry-level price range, like the Maker's Mark's the way to go. I don't even personally think I would bother with it. Like, if you're into anything else, like I would say there's probably a better thing you could get. But these are, I would say in general, the wheateds to me seem like not a strong style of bourbon based on these. Rick, any last thoughts?
Close us out here, baby. No. Give us the wisdom. Give us the wisdom.
I'll
take it out of your ass.
I don't got any wisdom.
Would you think that the wheat? Do you like the wheats? Would you say you skip the wheats? Not worth the time.
Compared to everything else you've had, what do you think about them all?
I would keep the 46.
I figure you would like that one because it really does taste like cinnamon-y kind of sweet.
The other two, I could forget them.
Yep, we're all on the same page there. So, all right, wheated bourbons.
Woo! Review number 476 coming to you next week.
Bentley, Jesus Christ.
John!
Just put his water just somewhere else while we're recording. Oh, Benny, we love you.